Greetings, gals and ghoulies, vampires and werewolves, Frankenstein and all his monsters. I want to welcome you all to Tales from the Repair Desk, what lurks beneath the keyboard. Here, my name is Freddie Rideau. I'm the in-house supervisor here at ComputerCare. I've been with the company for 4 years. I also have Alicio Rojas with me. He's a hardware tech three. He's been with the company for 3 years. For those who are wondering who ComputerCare is, we're a woman-owned company that's been around for 20 plus years. We have major experience with the top manufacturers such as Apple, Dell, HP, and Lenovo. Some of the our some of our specialties that we specialize is IT asset management for on-site and remote employees. We're also a ASP, so we're certified to work on-site and off-site for Apple, Lenovo, HP, Dell, and other manufacturers as well. And we're also authorized resellers as well, so you can also run procurement through us as well. And with the world that we live in now, with businesses fastly adapting to AI and robotics in automations in their everyday workplace. I'm proud to say Computer Care likes to keep the human side of hardware. That's how we like to look at it. Yes, we're working on a lot of technological things, but we also like to make sure that we put our own special touch and our culture to with it as well. With that being said, I like to start off. Alicio has an awesome story to start off with. Alicia, why don't you take it away?
So for this Tales of Beyond the Keyboard, I have a story that happened, I want to say about a year ago here at Computer Care. The unit was received in the cage, and of course, as technicians, we go in the cages and grab the stuff and diagnose. Um, Before we even start a diagnostic, we run a VMI, which is a visual mechanic inspection, to where we look around the laptop and see if there's any, uh, physical damage or things of that nature. So I was doing a VMI, and I was looking at the side, the vents of a MacBook. I want to say it was an M1. I seen two little antennas coming out of the side of the vent. So I turned it over and I tried to take a closer look, and the antennas retreated. So I was like, okay, there's something alive in here. So I did my due diligence, opened up the bottom case, and as I opened up the bottom case, a swarm of roaches just scattered, and I we got as much of them as we could. We killed them off, put on some. All I had was the bag at the time, so I smashed them with the bag and grabbed the laptop, put it in the bag, sealed it up, and uh, reported it to my lead at the time. It was said it was one of those experiences. Uh, After that, they disposed of it, the correct way, um, and ever since then, I've been always careful when I open up the bottom case. I'm like, okay, what's beneath this? What's beneath the keyboard this time? So that's just one of those experiences I've had.
Yeah, that experience that you talked about definitely reminds me very early on when I first started with Computer Care, and I was a tech admin, and a lot of the jobs that I was assigned to was the initial inspection of the devices. And I remember one particular time I had this laptop and I plugged it into an external monitor because the display wasn't working properly to run some diagnostics. And when I plugged it in and the display finally appeared, random letters was appearing on the screen. And I'm looking at the keyboard and there's nothing on the keyboard, but I see all these things being pressed. Freaked me out a little bit. I unplugged it. I was thinking, maybe there's a short somewhere. Maybe there's a keyboard attached somewhere that I'm not paying attention to. I don't know. So I plugged into another monitor. Same thing kept happening, freaking me out a little bit. So then I unplugged it and say, no, let me just open this unit up. I flipped it over. I start getting ready to take off the top case, and I start hearing like
Oh,
like movement kind of fast, and I was like, no way, like there's no way there's nothing inside here. It's in my head. I seen the letters move on the screen. I'm just freaking myself out. Continue to take off the case, and similar to what you described, just a swarm of roaches just
oh,
started coming out. And at the time, I didn't have a bag ready because I wasn't expecting none of this stuff. So I hurried real quick, went to grab a bag in a box, and I just start kind of sliding it off the
oof.
desk into the box, and then put the unit in the bag to seal it up and take it outside. And it's very important you don't eat on top of your laptop and you leave all these crumbs and all these different things, especially when the weather starts to get cold and they're looking for all these little places to hide. It's just
Yeah,
so nasty, so
that's
nasty.
the same feeling I got. I got the
Yeah,
heebie-jeebies.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. I also remember a time when I was tasked with asset retrievals, and I received this box, and this box came in and it had a funny smell to it. And because it had a funny smell to it, I immediately got some gloves. So I put on some gloves. I open up the unit, and before I open up the unit, when I'm opening the box, the smell gets worse, and it's just kind of smell like death. Like, I know it's weird to say, and unless you like run across roadkill in the middle of the road or something, it's a very distinct smell. And I'm like, why is this box or this unit smells like that? What's going on? I pick up the device with the gloves on. I put a bag down. I put it on top of the bag, and I noticed the ports on the side was like crusty and had this weird brownish,
Mm,
reddish type stuff like all in the ports. It was just so gross. So then I go to open the unit, and the unit's kind of stuck. The display is sticking to the top case, so I'm trying to get it off, and then once I finally start getting it off, it was kind of like gooey and crunchy.
mm.
Oh, so just it was so disgusting. So I opened it up, and then I there was used band-aids on the display. So gross, and the keyboard had this super stinky reddish, brownish, just oh, it was so disgusting. I just took a bunch of photos, sealed it up, and we ended up just e-wasting the unit. It was so gross. But I
That's
wish I could say that was the first time I seen something wild like that. But there was also another time where we had a unit come in, and we took it. The outside, there was obvious signs of some kind of liquid damage going on. So when we notice the liquid, we do a real deep VMI to see what all the parts are associated with that could potentially be damaged. So we open it up, and there's this weird, like fluorescent green type substance in there. So weird. And me, I'm a big Ninja Turtle fan. Always have been for a long time. I was close to thinking maybe if I take a little sip, I'll transform into something. It looked that wild. It looked like something out of a lab that was in there. It was so wild. It didn't really have a weird smell or anything to it. It just looked crazy, and definitely doesn't belong in there. But it was so saturated within the unit, there wasn't much we could do. So we sent it into depot, and we also didn't want to touch the liquid, not knowing potentially what it could be. Crazy part about it is when we received it back from depot, it came in the hazardous material bag with warning signs all over it saying "Don't touch," unknown biochemical liquid in it.
oof.
So luckily, I didn't let my intrusive thoughts win, and I didn't touch it with my hands or take a sip or anything. But um, yeah, some of the things that we find with some of these devices is pretty wild, spooky, and gross. But Alicia, I know you got a nice story to tell for the finale, so I'm
Yeah, I think actually, this was not so much beyond the keyboard. So this was actually, I want to say about a year ago. My schedule at the time, it was 7 a.m. to 5:30. So, techs have different schedules. Some used to leave earlier than others and stuff like that. So, at that time, I want to say it was about 4:57. Everybody was getting ready to leave for the day, cleaning up, all that. Maria closing all the gates and the locking, making sure everything's locked. So I was the last one there, finishing up repairs, running diagnostics. It was about, I want to say, very bad with time, but like 5:10, 5:12, around there. Um, I was sitting there finishing up a repair, and I heard scanners going off like repetitively, like if somebody was scanning, like inventory, beep, beep, beep. So, I'm like, okay, probably, automatic updates, unit MacBooks, I mean, sorry, Mac Minis shut off, turn on, probably that's the logical explanation. So I decided to go. I kept hearing it, so decided to go explore. I get to the back area of the where we have shipping and receiving now. Uh, I hear the scanner go off again, and I grab the scanner. I adjusted it, reset it in the points of contact with the charger. Um, then after that, I just went back to my seat and ignored it. Kept going off, actually. I ignored it. Then about 5:23, I heard a chair like roll back, and I got up and I walked around and I said, I screamed, "Hey, is anybody here? Hey, looking for somebody, sign of somebody, nothing." So I go around, I check, I even come here to the area, to the lounge area. Nobody. Everybody's gone, and I go back in and I write I write a message to the lead at the time. It was Freddie at the time still. I wrote him, "Hey, I'm about to clock out early," and I clocked out 5:20. It was 5:25 around there. I felt like I needed to get up out of there,
nah,
but that was the only
yeah,
time.
I totally understand, and you know, sometimes when we're back there working, we're so used to hearing certain noises, it almost becomes background noise, white noise. You don't really pay attention too much. But when you're by yourself, it's a huge warehouse, it's deeper into the fall, it's darker early,
Yep.
all these noises get heightened. And then you're like, wait a minute, if I'm okay, I know sometimes if there's an update, one, maybe two beeps, you hear the repetitive beep, beep. Oh yeah, now it's time to go home. Something I don't know if they're trying to help us do inventory or cycle count or
Yeah,
what.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't need that today. Awesome. Appreciate you, Alicio.
No problem.
Thank you for everybody for watching this. I hope you appreciate our stories from behind the repair, I mean behind the keyboard. Also, be sure if you don't want to be visited by any creepy crawlers and all those things, be mindful of what you're eating or drinking over your keyboard. I promise you, you may not see it from the outside, but when we open it up, we definitely see them on the inside. So be sure to keep that clear. Uh, y'all have a good one.